Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is Jaylee's Corner, and this is my review for the season premiere, the season 4 premiere of Empire, season 4, episode 1, Noble Memory. I honestly don't know if I like this premiere episode. It was a lot going on. Maybe I should have watched the season finale from last season to kind of, jog my memory a little bit. But I don't know. For me, it kind of didn't seem like a good season premiere a little bit. Not saying it was bad. I'm not saying it was bad. I did enjoy it. But I feel like I expected more, I guess. And I was just kind of like, okay. I do like how Lucius is playing a completely different Lucius. He's playing Dwight now. But, let's just get into this whole episode. And you can, say for how you felt about it yourself. So, the episode starts off and we see, first of all, we see that it's been 5 months since the Las Vegas explosion. And the family is like doing a little, let's say, publicity with videos and interviews and stuff like that. And they're all talking about, how it's been 5 months, how it's been so hard. They're talking about this 20-year anniversary of Empire, how they would be nothing without Lucius. Cookie is getting teary-eyed, and Andre was kind of, emotional, saying, if he had to choose between Empire and his dad, I'm just so emotional. I just can't do this. Just scratch that question is what he was saying. So, it was that whole thing, and even Cookie getting so emotional that she was like, okay, can we stop right here? But of course, it's like 5 months later. So we see Jamal, for one, has a bad wig. I don't like this wig. I think it's very bad. If that's his real hair, I don't like your hairstyle, Jamal. I'm sorry. Justice Smollett, I'm a great fan, but I don't like that hairstyle to have you in. So then we see Cookie and Lucius walking out, at his anniversary show. And we see Karla pop up. And they had been talking about how there was going to be a little crossover between Star and Empire. I guess this was a little bit of a crossover. So Karla does come up to Lucius and Cookie and just say, hey, Lucius. And Lucius looks confused because he's like, oh, hey. Cookie is like, she don't know who she is either. But come to find out, Karla used to sing, songs on Lucius's albums years ago. Because, of course, remember Karla from Star, Queen Latifah's character, was a singer back in the day, too. So that's the correlation and the connection between the two. However, she's like, yeah, I'm managing this new group. It's actually Mary's daughter and Mary's daughters and stuff. And, we could need some help. You have the best producers. Can we get a producer? So initially, Cookie was like, we gotta go, okay, Karla, whatever. And Lucius like, no, we can help her a little bit, we can get her a producer. So Cookie says, okay, fine, contact our office, we'll get it sorted out. As they're walking away, Lucius says, I didn't know who that was. And she's like, it's okay, come on, let's just go. So as they're walking, you see all the light bulbs going off, and people all in say, Lucius, all in his face. And he's sweating a little bit. He's perplexed, and he's walking. And then he kind of just freaks out, saying, no, get away from me. Get me out of here. And he freaks out. And then, of course, it goes to the little whole Empire introduction thing. And then it flashes back to 24 hours earlier. So, that's how it starts off. We see that Andre is talking to Thirsty. Thirsty's still around. And he's basically saying how the Las Vegas police still has more questions. And Andre, like, it was 5 months ago, Now, we all know Andre and Sean set up to kill Lucius. But Andre changed his mind in the end because his dad gave him the company. But, the explosion still happened. So Thirsty is saying, the police want to ask you a question again. They want to have your accounts of what happened. He like, I told him before, I heard Juliana talking, saying how Lucius would pay with his life. I heard her mention his car, and that's when I ran out there, whatever. We know he lying. That ain't what happened. But, whatever. So, at that point, Cookie walk in. And she walk in with Becky and Portia and some Asian boy. I don't know who the Asian was. Just basically talking about this whole 20-year party or whatever. We see that everyone at this point is waiting for Lucius to get back from somewhere. And they're like, okay, he'll be back today. The next thing we see is Hakeem was at home with Bella. So we see Hakeem got Bella back. We know in the last episode, Claire Huxtable, Mrs. Dubois, Diana, had Bella and was saying to Hakeem, you can get it back if you do something for me. So we know that he must have done something for her because he has Bella. But when he opens the door, who's at the door? Claire Huxtable. Mrs. Dubois is at the door. And, she comes in and she's like, how was Lucius doing? And he's like, okay, yeah, he okay. And she's like, yeah, and how was Anika? And, he's like, well, she's still locked up. They denied her bail again. So we find out Anika is still locked up. Remember, Lucius's mom set her up for the brother's murder. So she's locked up as we see because she was being arrested at the season finale last time. But, Hakeem was basically saying, like, look, it's been 5 months. I've been bringing you Bella every week. Hakeem, why the fuck could you bring your baby with that lady who kidnapped your baby? I mean, Hakeem has to be the youngest dumb person that I know that's on this show. Because why haven't you just told... If you would have told your parents initially what was going on, y'all could have played her. But no. This is really a betrayal. And, when Hakeem was like, I've been bringing her over for 5 months. What do you want? And she's like, maybe I just want you to keep bringing her over. He's like, you know what? I'm done. And she's like, no, you're not. Man, she bring out pictures. And I don't mean pictures like on the phone. I mean, like, she has a photo album with a whole bunch of pictures of every time Hakeem has been over there to see them. And she's like, if your mom saw this, what would she do? He's like, she'll beat my ass. She'll beat your ass. She'll be the person who drove you over their ass. She's going to beat Anika's ass. She's going to beat Diana's ass. Diana's daughter. She's going to beat everybody's ass. But that's her hold on Hakeem. Like, if I tell your mom what you've been doing, you gonna basically be put out the family anyway. But she still doesn't say what she wants from him besides, I'll see you on Tuesday. Because I can't stop going now because she has proof that I've been over there. But your ass thought about that before he was going over there. We see Andre goes to talk to Sean. Andre can't be on his meds. I mean, he can't. He just seems a little bit erratic to me. He's all over the place, but of course he's nervous because my thing is, why are you nervous 5 months later? You know what I'm saying? But he's nervous talking to Sean like, I thought you said it was handled. Someone's talking. The police is still looking into this. What's going on? And Sean like, man, what you nervous for? It's okay. They just doing their job. Claudia can't talk. Not Claudia. Juliana can't talk because I guess they murdered her. I can't remember what happened to her. But he's saying that she's dead. Shauna's upset because he's like, the deal was we take out Lucius and then you are in charge, but Cookie's in charge. And he's like, well, she only in charge until my dad is better. And then they're going to announce that they gave me the company because in the season finale, they did. So, it's that whole thing. We see a little snippet that, Jamal is still sleeping with Miss Dubois' other son. Yep, he is sleeping with the damn enemy. And this is 5 months later. So we know they kicking it. They bumping uglies and stuff because he left his journal at the guy's house and the guy came to Jamal's house to bring it to him. And he's like, yeah, you left because you didn't want to leave. You wanted to stay a little late. I'm like, y'all so nasty. So the next scene we see, Lucius is home. Now, Lucius pull up and Claudia, who was the same nurse who was in the season finale, who was played by Demi Moore, she pull up and she said to Juanita, you should have told me that the family was going to be here. Bitch, where else would they be? They his family. As a nurse, why would you think his family wouldn't be there? Now, we know in the season finale, Lucius woke up saying, who are you? Because he doesn't have a memory. But my thing is, I think this is where I get frustrated with today's episode. Because it was too much put on him not having a memory. It was too much put on how he trusts Claudia. And my thing is, I feel like if you have amnesia and you don't know anybody, wouldn't everybody be a stranger? Why would you trust one stranger over the next? I would trust my family of strangers over a stranger any day. Okay? That's just me. That's just me saying that. But we see that he prefers to be called Dwight because when Cookie's like, Lucius, he doesn't respond. And then Claudia says to call him Dwight. And then when she says Dwight, he pays attention. So he got the car. We also see that not only is Lucius has he lost his memory, he done lost one of his legs. Yep, he gets out on crutches and he's limp, but not limping, but he has half a leg. I didn't realize that from the season finale, so that was a shock to me. So he's walking on crutches up into the house, and Cookie's talking about the whole 20-year anniversary thing, and then he's like, well, you know what? I decided I don't want to do it. And she's like, well, you can't do that. We've been working on this for, months now. People are waiting on you. And he's like, look, I don't know who this person is who you're talking about. I just can't do it. And, because he said he does not know who Lucius is. He's Dwight. Okay, if you say so. So, he's in the house now. He's sitting down with the family and they're talking to him and everything. He's saying how, he can't walk that much. He can't walk that far. His leg hurts because he has one leg. And Cookie like, we can just wheel you out. And she's kind of making it a little bit about the whole anniversary thing, but I get it, and Claudia, Demi Moore's character, is saying like, well, maybe we should make it about your company. And she's like, it's not my company, it's our company, it's me and Lucius's company. I felt like Claudia had included herself in too many family conversations. My thing is, if you the nurse or you the doctor, be the nurse and be the doctor, but I don't need you up in our family situations. You know what I'm saying? That part I did not like. I felt like they added a character in solely to be the person who Lucius trusts over his family. He gonna clearly start liking this lady. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it's the same premise that he did with the Juliana character, except this time he has memory loss. Before he was messing with Juliana because, Cookie was with Tay Dead's character. Now he's moved on to someone else because he does have a memory. But it's the same premise of Cookie and Lucius can't be together for one reason or the other. And I want the show to be more than that. And that's why I felt like I was like, okay, so this is gonna be the storyline. A whole thing of they can't be together because he doesn't have a memory and he trusts Demi Moore's character over hers, and you see there's something going on between them, and it's inappropriate. Demi Moore ass would have got fired if it was my husband or my boyfriend or my whoever. Your ass would have been out the door. So, she does talk to Demi Moore's character, and she's like, look, we need to get him to remember. What else can we do to help him remember? I need to get him back. So that was that whole thing. But again, I'm just like, I don't know if it's that I don't like Demi Moore in here, and that's why I'm like, I don't like this episode. It was just overly, they just kept pointing to it. You see when her saying, you should have told me this. When he look at her before anything, it was just weird for me. I'm looking like, oh, this is where the story is going. And they kind of lean towards that in the season finale, episode 2. So, because it was even then, I think then it had been maybe 3 months since the accident had happened, and Demi Moore character was there, and Cookie kept looking at her funny, like, you up to something. And we see her ass was. So, the next thing we see, Tiana's in the booth. Well, don't we going to go into that? Well, we know in the season finale of the last episode, we saw how it was Tiana Tori, who was Rumor Willis's character, and Hakeem was in the hot tub or in the pool, and they was all together just mixing it up, having a good little threesome. So when Tiana is in the booth and she's singing a song, we see Rumor Willis' character, whose name is Tori, come into the studio, and she just walked into the booth. And my thing is, you being rude. First of all, you can't just walk into the booth because you messed up the recording. You're rude, okay? You should know that as an artist. So when she walks in, and Tiana does not look pleased at all. She looking like, I might have ate your coochie that one time, but I don't want to be talking to you in the light of day. So, but Tori says, I'm working through this whole 12 steps thing. So I'm like, okay, so that means she's back in rehab. So we know something must have happened to where she relapsed within these last 5 months. And she's like, yes, I'm going through rehab and I'm working on the 12 steps. And right now I'm trying to work through making amends, and she's trying to say sorry. And Tiana not happy. She's like, look, I'm working. I ain't for this. You gotta go. And then we see Becky. I guess now Becky not only A&R, she's also security, because she come and she pulled the girl out. Okay, fine. But as Tori's leaving, she then says, I had a dream last night, and you was licking my toes. And I said, bitch, I would have preferred if you said she was licking your cootie cat, because my thing is, I think people licking and sucking toes is disgusting. I really do. Because feet be on the floor, I just can't do it. But whatever. We see Cookie brings out the photo album to show Lucius to try to get his memory jogged. But again, I mean, why is Claudia, Demi Moore's character, there? My thing is, I feel like if you want this man to remember, shouldn't you put them with their family? The whole time he's been trying to get better, shouldn't his family have been involved? I feel like there should have never been a time where his family was not around. Because my thing is, you can't remind someone of something if the only person around them is a fucking stranger. That's how that stranger gets to be treated better than family. Okay? So when she pulled out the photo albums and Claudia like, I have to look at those first, I would have been like, bitch, no, you don't. What you can do is go to your room and sit until we have a medical emergency. Other than that, get the fuck out of my face. That's just me, though, okay? But I feel like that's also... I'm surprised Cookie didn't say that, though. You know, we see that he likes being around Bella. That's positive. He also thinks that Tiana is Bella's mom. And Cookie like, why you got, you know, Tiana around Lucius? We don't want anyone to see him like this. And he's like, Tiana's like family, so it doesn't matter. We see that he does not like his music much. His music makes him get a headache. And he thinks it's violent. I thought that was funny. He's looking through the photo albums. He's flipping through. And he's like, you're not in any of these pictures. Were you the one taking the pictures? Talking to Cookie. And they kind of look at Claudia like, can we tell him stuff? So Claudia's basically, well, the thing I guess it is not to give him any bad memories. But my thing is memories is memories. If your life is based on bad shit, you can't remember nothing good if you want nothing good in your life. And my thing is, you should focus on just honesty, okay? So, you know, she kind of says, well, yeah, there was a little bit of time where we weren't together, so I'm not in those pictures. And he's like, well, how long was it? And she was like, 17 years. I'm tired of hearing about 17 years, me personally. But I digress. And he was like, 17 years, you know, that's a long time. What else? We see Mrs. Dubois is upset with her son, who's sleeping with Jamal. Basically because he ain't got Jamal up under his spell yet. Jamal's still free and clear to do what he feel. And Mrs. Dubois is not happy about that. And why he's saying, well, it's because his father's going through things. You know, he's just going through things. He can't really focus on me right now. And she's like, you are full of excuses. You are just like your father. I am nothing like my father. And she asked the masseuse to leave because she was getting a massage. But what she was also doing was showing side boob. I'm like, did they just show Claire Huxtable's side boob? Come on now, Felicia Rashad, with the little trying to be an old sexy old woman. Okay, ma'am, show them side boobs. But she then tells her son, look, I don't care what Jamal got going on. Your ass is supposed to be over there getting his head and getting him wrapped around your finger. You ain't doing that fast enough for me. You know, Cookie ruined my other son's life. She ruined our name, and her ass gonna pay tenfold. She then says, I want to pick the bones clean of her children as she watches helplessly to help them. I was thinking like, well, damn, Claire, you pissed. You real upset. You want to pick the bones of children's? Okay. We not gonna mess with Mr. Dubois. And that was her whole little thing. The next thing that we see, Cookie sees Lucius and Claudia like sitting out in the backyard, like by the water, and they looking all friendly. We see that Lucius says to Claudia, can I kiss you? And she laughs. They don't kiss, but they sitting a little bit too close for me. You know what I'm saying? As Dr. Patient, it should be about 2 feet in between. But, you know, Cookie sees that and she's pissed. So she calls Claudia to come in. She's like, look, pack your shit, you gotta go. I would have told her that when she first came over there, talking about why y'all didn't tell me the family was here. Bitch, what? Would have been my response. She then tell Cookie, look, it ain't that he want to be with me. It's that he is transferring his feelings to me because I'm the only one that he trusts right now. My thing again, why does he only trust her? Because she's the only one that has been around him all the time. I feel like she is using that to her goddamn own advantage. But we shall see what happens. And again, if he has amnesia and everyone is a stranger, wouldn't she be a stranger too? God damn it, Lucius. You can't deal with this bullshit. You know, they're then at what? No, they were, you know, Cookie and Lucius are in the kitchen talking. And he's like, you know, I'm sorry I can't remember. I'm sorry for letting you down. You know, I wish I could remember, but I just can't. And she's like, you gave me everything that night in Vegas. And he's like, but the night of the accident, because he can't remember it. She's like, yeah. He was like, well, she's like, I wish you could remember it. And he says, well, I wish you could remember it. I wish I could remember it. And he was like, tell me about it. I would like you to tell me about it. And I'm thinking to myself, so ain't no one told him any stories of the past? Nobody? Okay. I mean, y'all ain't show him no video. Y'all ain't show, y'all nothing? Nothing? I just can't, I don't know. So she goes to telling him what happened. It was a beautiful night. He sang, you sang me a song. You made me feel special. We gave Andre the company. And he's like, Andre, I like him. He's a good son. I like him. And she said, you asked me to travel the world with you. And then she kind of stopped talking. And he's like, and what else happened? And she was kind of just stirring her tea and not paying attention. And then he was like, did something bad happen? Like, am I the one that caused the accident? He said, was that the night of the accident? Did someone cause the accident? Did someone do that? Did someone do this to me? Because again, they haven't told him what really happened. And then he then says, did I do something to cause it? So no one's told him all the bullshit he's done over the years that caused things to happen. I guess to not have more trauma within himself. Cookie just says to him as she's crying, you saved my life that night. And that's the reason I'm fighting for us to be back together. And he wipes her face. He's like, don't cry, Cookie. But I'm looking like, well, he don't even know who she is. It's so sad. So, they then have a family dinner. And it was going good at first. Lucius was saying, I see Hakeem, you have, Tiana and Bella. Andre, what do you have? Do you have anyone special? And Andre, old little bipolar self, was like, I used to have a wife, but she died. He's like, oh, when did that happen? I'm so sorry that happened to you. He like, it was a long time ago. He drinking wine. He then looked at, Jamal, like, Jamal, so do you have a special someone? Are you dating anyone? Jamal then says, I'm kind of dating someone, but we're taking it slow. And then Lucius says, have I met him? And then he was like, how you know it's a him? And he was like, I'm sorry, am I wrong? And he was like, no, it isn't him. It is, we're just taking it slow. He then says, well, why haven't I met him? Am I the reason for this? Again, they're all avoiding telling him things like that. When Cookie asked him if he's listened to any more of his music, he was like, no, my music gives me a headache except this one song. He tells his security to play the one song he's been playing all the time. The song plays, and it's a song that Cookie actually wrote for him when she was locked up. They then show a flashback scene to her being in prison, crying, writing him a letter, and she's writing the words of the song he sang. And he gets the album, has them bring the album out too. And he's reading it, and because he was like, what happened when I wrote this song? And then I think either Jamal or Hakeem said, Mom wrote the song. And then she was like, no, don't say that, it's okay. He like, oh, well, that's great, you wrote the song. And Jamal like, yeah, you were having writer's block, so she wrote the song for you. And then he's looking at the back of the album, he's like, why don't I see your name as a writer? He has a writer credits. He sees Vernon's name, he sees who was the guy he killed in the beginning? The friend he killed in the beginning, whose name I can't remember right now. And then he's like, why isn't your name here? And she's like, in the beginning, we wanted Empire to be strong, so we didn't want anyone to think of anyone writing anything but you. But that's the only song that happened on. And he's like, well, that wasn't right. If you wrote the song, but you should get credit for it. And he's like, how does that make you feel? And he's getting a little bit up there. And, at that moment, it's like everyone started arguing. Andre, like, you would do that all the time. And they start arguing back and forth. I think they called somebody bipolar. They called Hakeem, it was just, they were arguing and yelling and fussing and fighting. And to the point to where he got hype. And he like, stop yelling. I want to get out of here. Because it was too much for him. And that's the fastest I've ever seen a one-leg man walk. I mean, he was gone. And he walked down to like the pier. And he's like, y'all yelling at me. Y'all want me to remember who I am, but y'all don't even like yourselves. I'm looking like, okay, speak that truth. He's like, I just don't remember. And I just feel like I'm in a cloud of darkness and I don't know anything. So it seemed like he was about to like jump in the river and kill himself. So they all ran down to him and called him. And then they were like, Dad, we love you. You don't have to remember anything. You know, we won't do it anymore. Don't worry about it. And then they're all hugging each other. And then Cookie's like, you know, we're your family. We got you. And then he looks at Claudia. And she was like, look at me. We are your family. Meaning she ain't your family. And then they all go in to hug him. But he's still looking at Claudia. Okay, I gotta pause this. Okay, I was thirsty. Had to get it done. Anyway, so, you know, the next thing that we see, now they're back to current time when they're at this 20-year reunion show. And Lucius is still in the back and he's still flipping out. And then we see that Tiana, Jamal, and Hakeem is rapping a new song or whatever. I still do not like Jamal's hair. Looking in the wrong place. Sorry about that. Still does not like Jamal's hair. I still think it looks stupid. So, you know, Cookie is telling Lucius, you know, you don't have to go out there. You know, you can stay back here. It's okay. I understand. And he's like, oh, where is Claudia? Claudia ass walk in and she wearing one of Anika dresses. And Cookie like, ain't that Anika's dress? She's like, oh, I don't know. It was in the closet. You don't have your own clothes? Didn't you get there with a suitcase? You wearing... I was just like, oh, again, she's over. Why is she there like that? I just did not like that whole thing. You know, when she come in, it was as if Lucius was having to choose between who to lead with or who to trust or who to let help him be soothed. Does he trust, you know, is it Claudia or is it Cookie? And I feel like each season has been Cookie having to prove herself and defend herself and fight her way to be with Lucius through some woman. In season 1, it was Anika. In season 2, she was with Mr. Dubois. And then when she realized she wanted to be with him, he was fucking around with Juliana. Now it's season 4, and now here we go with Claudia. I'm tired of this whole Cookie need to be with Lucius, but she can't be with Lucius because he got some female and she had to play second fiddle. I'm tired of that storyline. It's the same plot with it being told different ways. I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. You know, Lucius eventually does come out to, you know, come outside or whatever. Because, you know, but again, you know, it was Cookie and Claudia saying, you know, do you want to go home? And Cookie like, I can take you home and I can take care of you. So you have Claudia's hand on his knee, and Cookie moving Claudia's hand and putting her hand there. Again, she's having to fight to be with Lucius. I'm looking like, this is some bullshit. I'm just sick and tired of it. Like, completely done. You know, Lucius does go out, and we like, okay, he walks out with Cookie and with and Andre. I'm like, okay, cool. He picks Cookie. Finally, you know, she finally didn't have to fight to be with this man. You know, he come out, he said, you know, to the Empire. He shows him his prosthetic leg. You know, he says how he would never be the same, but that it's okay because he has the strength of the Empire behind him. Plus, he has his family behind him, so he knows he would be okay. You know, that's nothing, you know, because I'll be good. I think that was very good. And you see a glimpse of Lucius. And I'm like, well, damn it, did he have a whole come and Jesus moment in the back and now he back being Lucius? Because he was talking as if he was Lucius. You know, he brings up the song that he said he wrote that it should really go to Cookie. And, you know, he gives her props and everything. And then Jamal and Hakeem perform a song. To me, I'm not gonna. You had Hakeem gyrating in the back. You had Jamal gyrating in the front, and they just was gyrating and gyrating. I'm looking like, I just, you know, I thought it was too much. So he's in the crowd, and you know they're singing this song that Cookie wrote, and he's like, Cookie, did you forget the words? Sing a little bit. And she's singing a little bit. They holding hands and they look oh so happy. I'm like, but you also see Claudia in the back looking. So I'm like, is she looking because she's mad or is she looking because this is some bullshit? It was just a weird scene altogether. The next thing we see is, you know, Dre getting a call from Sean. And he like, Sean, why aren't you here at the show? And Sean like, oh, I have some business to handle. And you see he's in the car with the guy who made the bomb. And the guy, he didn't give the guy some money. So I'm like, okay, they must have paid this guy to go away. So then the guy like, oh yeah, you know, I love a vacation. Something he loves something. And then Sean was like, you know what I hate? Or you know what I love? And he shoot the dude in the head on the phone with Dre. So Dre hear him shoot the guy. I'm like, now was that way of threatening Dre? Because you called him and shot a man in cold blood over the phone? I mean, with technology these days, you never know what can be recorded. But, you know, I digress. So the last thing that we see is Lucius on stage, like, kind of looking out. Cookie comes out, and she's like, you know, that was great. And he's like, you know, I did it just how we practiced. You know, I was faking it. I'm looking like, God damn it. Claudia was looking because it was some fake-ass fuckery shit. I'm like, okay. You know, it just, you know, where's Claudia? He keep asking for Claudia, so it keeps aggravating my soul because I already know how this season is going to go. It's going to be Cookie having to prove herself to make Lucius remember so they can be together. Oh, my God. I thought that they did enough of that shit last season. I'm a little bit upset that that's going to be the same thing going on this season. I mean, what's the guy name? Damn it, the guy that do the show. I can't think of the director got name right now. It slips my mind. But I need you to do something different, okay? You are a great, great director. I need you to write something better for this show. It can't keep being Cookie and Lucius, okay? It just can't. Damn it, it just can't. You know, he's telling her how he can't remember, how he wish he could, but he just can't. And he walks away with Claudia. And then Cookie ends the scene and said, you know, you will always remember me. I'm Cookie, baby. I'm unforgettable. So that was my review. I mean, that's why I said I was kind of upset with the episode. Because I felt like it's the same old, told a different way. You know what I'm saying? It's only so many times we can go see Cinderella movies. We know at the end of the day, she gonna get her damn glass slipper. And she gonna marry the prince. And my thing is, I'm tired of the ending or the beginning of this empire being in some way Cookie and Lucius not being together. Okay? I mean, if y'all have any comments, drop them below. Please remember to like, share, and comment if you feel free to do so. But please do so anyway. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner.